So your business has changed a lot over the years. You used to do like, a lot of launches, you had affiliates, but you've done big changes. And you've talked about that openly, that you had to do those changes to basically protect yourself. Can you talk about that?
Yes. So I'm always about looking for the simplicity. How can we get the same or better result with less stress? Because it's not about work. And, I'm very clear about the fact that it does take work for my business. I still have to do things in my business, still takes effort, but I'm always looking to see how we can reduce the stress of the effort, if it is stressful. And so I always think, look at your business and go, what's causing me the most amount of stress, and start with fixing that first, because some things might not make sense from people might say, oh, you should outsource that, but it brings you joy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fine, so it's not about the time necessarily. So some of this has been definitely driven by the fact that I have 3 kids, and having 3 kids in 5 years takes a lot out of you energetically, physically, mentally, emotionally, all of the things. And so I knew that before I had my first baby, that made a massive change for me in terms of passive income. I knew that I couldn't just do like the B school model where she does it once a year, she does a big launch. I was launching a couple of times a year and then, doing this live program. And so I thought, well, I'm about to have a baby. What if I don't feel like doing that? What if I lose all my ambition and I don't want to do business anymore? It would be a real shame. And so that's when I made my program evergreen. And then each baby has kind of brought new lessons around that, where I was like, well, actually, I don't know, I can't launch as much, or I can't do all of the work involved. So, okay, cool, I will bring on affiliates. That was a sweet spot time to bring affiliates in, because I didn't have as much energy to, go on lots of podcasts, for example. So I thought, well, this will be a great time to have other people helping and promoting. And then Mark, my husband, came into the business,
Mm-hmm.
and he started taking bits of the business on. And one of those things was affiliates. And what we realized actually with the affiliate thing was there is a sweet spot, I think, for bringing on affiliates, where it's maybe you don't have a big upfront ad spend, and and maybe you need to increase your networks and things like that. So it was a really great time for us to bring on affiliates for our programs. But then until it wasn't, and then we made the decision that we were going to put that money into ad spend instead of affiliates, because it got to a point where we had so many affiliates, we would have had to put a full-time person just on affiliates. So again, it wasn't anything wrong. I loved working with affiliates. It was great. But it was just the reality of it, of going, wow, this is someone's full-time job. So do we want to go down that route and hire a full-time person? Or would it be easier and simpler and probably less stress and maybe even better result to put that money into ad spend? And, so everything we do, we make a decision around that works for us. And I think this is the problem with sometimes with the online world, that we follow someone and think that their model, we have to copy their model exactly, not knowing what the decision is behind that. Not knowing that my personality is that I like having a lean team. And I've been like that ever since I was even in corporate world. I would always look for a job where it was like a one-man band within a company that had no staff involved. And so someone might look at that and go, well, I have to do what Denise does, but they might be someone who needs to have a lot of people around them, And so I'm nowadays, instead of giving business advice, my biggest business advice is really know your personality and really know what you want to achieve, and then build your business around that, ignoring the rules about what people say. And I've been at different points in my business where people say, you should have a full-time team of 20 people. And I go, oh my God, I don't want that. And so I've had to really be discerning on who I've taken business advice from.